Good morning, guys. Welcome to the most underrated show on YouTube. Super slow news day. It's going to continue into tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., that's when everything's going to get wild. All right, guys, let's do it. So everything's going to be pretty slow. The next couple of today, it's going to be pretty slow. Tomorrow, it's probably going to be pretty slow until about 2 o'clock, and then it'll pick up a little bit. And then 2:30, when Fed Chairman Jerome Powell speaks, it's going to really heat up. And then when he finishes speaking, the world's going to explode. And then on Thursday, everything will come back to reality. So that's that after everybody digests it. So let's there's still news out there. It's a lot of lumber, it's a lot of Jamie Dimon, this and that. So let's take a look at it, and but just be patient. Just be patient. Let's actually, you know what? Why don't we just, I wonder if I can see. I probably should have just screenshotted this before. Yeah, I don't have any volume on. I wanted to look at the volume of yesterday on the S&P compared to the average, just to show you how slow it is. I'll pull that up in the middle of the day for those of you in the Bid and Ask Nation, and we'll go from there. So should we get out of our riskier swing trades before tomorrow afternoon? I don't think so. Let's do the Airbnb first. So this was an interesting interview. I can't really say they said anything that was earth-shattering, but I like to look at these things from Airbnb, the different hotel chains and whatnot, just to see which direction travel is going. I know people are definitely getting back out there and traveling. A lot of people use Airbnb. I have only used Airbnb twice. Both of them were not good experiences, but I have to say that I used those in their earlier days of Airbnb. I haven't done anything with it recently. I just think that staying in somebody else's house is weird. But especially, so there was one time we went to Columbus for the Arnold Classic, my friend and we rented an Airbnb. Little did we know that we were going to be renting a bedroom from a person that was still living in the house. So we were supposed to stay in the home with this person, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So that was weird. All right, so guy's name is CEO, what's his name? Something Stevenson. Dave Stevenson, CEO of Airbnb. Wall Street Journal asks, people are eager to get back to travel as vaccinations rise, restrictions ease. So they are seeing strength in demand, of course. Now, what are they seeing in the booking patterns? A big part of the strength has been rural, beach, and mountains. So larger homes, family getaways. Yeah, I mean, from what I've been hearing from a lot of friends, they're going to these beach getaways, these mountain getaways. I have a lot of friends going to Montana and doing the stuff in the mountains and horseback riding and all that, or Wyoming. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's somewhere out west. Let's see. Now, are there any surprises that come from this? Pre-COVID, Okay. Pre-COVID, 14% of our nights were 28 days or longer. So people are using Airbnb, which is not a bad idea. They're using it as kind of temporary rental because you can do months at a time. In quarter one of this year, 24% of our nights were 28 days or longer, and we believe that trend is going to continue. If I was pretty transient and I had to be in a city for a short amount of time and bounce around, Airbnb is the way to go. It's much cheaper than a hotel. You get to do your own thing. You don't have to worry about people coming into your room all the time. Well, I guess you have to worry about the owner, but not the same thing. Do you see, now this is one part interesting part of the story. Do you see the company rehiring employees after last year's cuts? We'll grow our headcount over time, but it will be a much more modest pace than done historically. So a lot of these maybe newish kind of techie startup kind of deals, maybe they're going to be tailoring their growth that they were having that was just running rampant for the first 4, 5, 6 years, 1 to 2 years of them being public. Maybe that COVID thing was a wake-up call that maybe let's tone it back. Maybe you're going to start seeing companies like Uber and Lyft tailoring back how many employees they need because they're realizing after they got rid of all those employees and furloughed them or fired them that they don't need them as much. So maybe that's something that's going to see, and we're going to start seeing a new trend. But I'm sure the cycle will go back to what it was before. Airbnb, $400 a night for the house, $400 a night for the Airbnb service, plus $250 cleaning. I find that hard to believe, but I'm not calling you a liar. I mean, maybe that's right. Like I said, I haven't used it in a while. All right, let's see here. Let's do the lumber. So, of course, all of us know that lumber was just raging the past year, let's call it 9 months, 6 months. I don't know. So 2 months ago, this is a funny part of the story. 2 months ago, it only took one thing to be rich, and that was a piece of lumber. Lumber went from like $300 a board or something to like $1,600 a board. On Monday, lumber futures contracts traded back below $1,000 per board feet. I don't know what that means. For the first time since late March. Those of you that are a lot manlier than I am and build things, you guys know what that means. Look at this chart. Normal, boom, more than double, and then come back to reality. Everything that goes up will come down. Just be patient. During the housing bubble, futures contracts for random length lumber never traded above $500 a board. Now, this is back in 2008. But by early May, lumber futures were trading hands for more than $1,600 per board feet. This surge was adding as much as $36,000 to the cost of a new home. On average, new homes that sell around for $400,000. Man, that is crazy. I had a friend who's in the construction business, and he sent one of his workers to go buy some of these boards. I don't know what they were. Usually they paid about $300, and he came back with the receipt, and it was $900. And the guy, my friend who owns a company, he goes, "What the hell did you buy?" And he's like, "I bought the same thing. This is what they cost now." That was wild, and that was probably 2 months ago. But that was probably in the peak of it when it was getting really hot. Let's see here. Moving to the housing side. Economist Ali Wolf told Bloomberg recently that there's something of a buyer's protest in the market as the price for single-family homes just exploded over the last year. So I don't know if you guys are seeing that with your friends, maybe yourself, that you're kind of just saying, I'm not going to move right now. We're going to put our house on the market and maybe figure out something that we're going to do. But the buyer's protest, that was a great name that Ali Wolf said to Bloomberg. When the Fed says inflation pressure, guys, somebody I can always count on Miles Udland. I never knew his last name, but he is the guy. If you ever open Yahoo Finance, he's the guy with the glasses on. He always has a vest on. He's always well put together. I like the way he speaks. He doesn't. There's not a lot of fluff in what he says, but he finally said when the Fed says inflation pressures will be transitory, what they mean is that the price across each of these categories facing short squeezes right now will start to make more sense. It just so happens that lumber is just showing us the way. So somebody sent an email to Nick at help@everythingmoney.com thinking that I didn't know. He's like, what is Mo talking about? Is he being sarcastic? Why does he keep saying that the Fed won't define transitory, this and that? It's not that I understand what they mean by it. I just want somebody to define it for me. You can't just write every single article that you ever write every single day and just keep saying, yeah, it's transitory. It's transitory. Say what transitory is. Say what you mean. I mean, I do this for a living. I understand it, but the person that doesn't understand it, what does transitory mean? Stop giving them fluff and not saying exactly what it means. That's what I don't like. But finally, Miles. Of course, Miles tells me. Miles is great. Next. Let's go to Ford. This truck is sweet. So I have always wanted a Ford. I want the OJ Ford. I want the white Bronco driving down the highway. That's exactly what I want. I've been looking for one for a very long time. I want one that's in great shape. Actually, did find one. And the guy was like, yeah, give me $200,000 for it. I'm like, okay. Technically, I always say everything is for sale. Technically, he was willing to sell it to me, just not for the price that I wanted to pay. So Ford begins shipping the new Bronco. Now, I don't like the current Bronco, that little Bronco Sport or the baby Bronco, I think they call it. I like this. This Bronco that's coming out. This thing is awesome looking. Not as cool as the old school one, but it has a little modern pop. All right. Ford started shipping it on Monday. The Bronco is viewed as the most critical non-electric product launches for the company in years. I do agree with that. They had tons and tons. I have two friends that already ordered the Bronco. Let's see. And this is a cool one. It's been almost 25 years to the day that Bronco rolled off the line here. June 12th, 1996. That was the last Bronco that they made. But man, look at that thing. That thing's awesome. There's an orange one later in this article. Yeah, here it is. Michigan employees are currently running on 2 of the 3 shifts with 3,000 employees. That's wonderful. Look at this thing. Doors come off. I know that. It kind of looks kind of Jeepy, but a little bit more rugged. Starting price of one ranges from 30 to 60,000. And frankly, I don't think that's that bad. I haven't seen the interior of it. I don't know what the specs are. I'm sure you guys that like trucks and whatnot know what the specs are. Randall, yeah, I miss my truck. I really want another truck. I've been thinking about getting a I'm gonna probably like ruin everybody's life here. Well, ruin all the people that in the truck world, you're either Chevy, Dodge, or Ram, or Ford. I really want the Ford F-250 Super Duty. So I'm sorry I just ruined your world if you're not a Ford supporter. All right. But I technically own a Ram. Mike, see, here we go. Here we go with the Ford, where the Ford is the worst. I do own a Ram right now. I love it. I'm selling it though. I'm getting rid of it. But I'm willing to bounce around all trucks. I don't care. They all have their own things. I'm not loyal to one brand or the other. I think the interior on a Ford is as good as it comes. I think that the engine on a Ram is as good as it comes. I don't think the engine on a Ford is as good as it comes. There you go. Give me an R8 anytime. Okay. So US and the EU resolve a 17-year Boeing Airbus dispute. So I didn't know about this dispute, but it's always been there's basically two plane manufacturers. Smash the like button, guys. It's Boeing and it's Airbus. That's it. That's it for commercial. So the United States and the European Union said Tuesday that it has resolved a 17-year dispute over the aircraft subsidies, agreeing to suspend disputed tariffs for 5 years. This really opens up a new chapter in our relationship as we move on from litigation to cooperation of this aircraft. So I haven't really dug into this anymore, but instead of them competing, now they're going to become one, and it's just going to become one big monopoly, I guess. Boeing shares, I highlighted this for a reason. Boeing shares were up 0.5% pre-market. So with all of this news that keeps coming out about Boeing, they're United allegedly owned 100 ordered 100 planes from Boeing. Spirit ordered 24 planes from Boeing, I think it was. So all of this news just keeps coming out about Boeing, all this good stuff, and the share price isn't moving. So take note of that. This is why I initially had Boeing as a dog stock, because eventually these things are going to all come together and they're going to start moving into the into a positive trend. I mean, maybe they're in why don't we just look right now instead of just speculating? Let's see. Okay, so here's Boeing right now, and you can see we were following. I started following them right around here as they were coming down, and then they popped, and they're still not doing much. And now their trend is coming right back down. So they're having a very difficult time breaking over all these major moving averages. And look at all this very consistent selling volume that's happening on a day-to-day basis. So yeah. We'll see what's going to happen with them. Where's my Boeing thing? Separately, the UK said it was hoping for a similar deal with the United States in the coming days. Oh, okay. So I guess the UK has some kind of dispute. And of course, the G7's going on. I'm not sure where it is, but it looks like everybody's making deals. So exactly the same point I was making about oil stocks. Yeah, Mike, I remember you asking that question. So we just have to keep following these things, and hey, we can't control it. Just follow it. Just keep an eye on it. All right. Jamie Dimon. Here's the greatest name of a CEO. This is his name is like from a movie. I mean, I think he had a heart attack in 2019. I know it was in 2019. It was right before, it was in February, I think, of 19. And there's speculations that he was not going to be CEO anymore, because it was a pretty serious heart attack. I think it was a heart attack. But he's good now. He's back at it. And interestingly, they have a stockpile of almost $500 billion. And I do agree with him. JP Morgan has been sitting on about $500 billion stockpile of cash waiting to invest in higher rates in the coming months instead of buying treasuries and other securities. So we look at these treasury yields here. Okay, here. And I mean, these returns are garbage. I mean, they're frankly just garbage. You lend your money to the government for 10 years. Let's call it 1.5% that you're getting on average. This is terrible. It's terrible. If you want to do a 90-day treasury, this is where I used to park all my cash. You get 0.03%. It's dumb. You might as well. I mean, it's dumb. So Dimon is making a great point. Where'd he go? Where's Jamie Dimon? Where did I? Oh, sitting on cash. Here we go. He makes a great point that he's just going to keep sitting on cash and waiting until eventually these treasury yields are going to get a little bit of bump. And he might be running for the next Fed chairman. Well, you don't run for chairman, you get appointed, but I see your point. We do expect rates to stay low for a bit longer. The Fed has told us that. If you look at the balance sheet, but I do expect, he said, I do expect you're going to see higher rates and more inflation today. Definitely agree with you, Jamie. The Federal Reserve rate setting gathers for two days this week, starting Tuesday, with investors eagerly awaiting the policy update on Wednesday to see how the central bank is grappling with the evidence of surging inflation in recent months, but also the slack in the job market during the COVID recovery. Investors will be listening to any hint of change in terms of the Fed's outlook for the rates and future of its monthly asset purchases. And of course, it's doing the $80 billion in mortgage-backed securities and $80 billion in treasuries and $40 billion in mortgage-backed securities. That's what it is. But while inflation has been surprisingly hot, many economists and the strategists expect the Fed to wait until the fall to see how the labor market responds. So to the inflation spike. And I also think that we're going to see they're not going to react until we start seeing the June, July, and August numbers because of all of this tapering back of the COVID relief stimulus bills, whatever you want to call it, in about half the states in the country. I think they're going to want to see where jobs go from there and then make moves from there. Guys, smash the like button for me, and we will move to the next story where things are almost about to get really fun. Paul Tudor Jones. So those of you that don't know who Paul Tudor Jones is, he's a hedge fund manager, and he is basically given credit for predicting the 1987 crash on Black Monday. And if you've ever seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, that was that Black Monday. So, billionaire hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones said in a CNBC interview Monday morning, Fed policymakers are in danger of making a substantial policy mistake by treating rising price pressures as transitory or short-lived phenomenon. Boom. Jones said that if the Fed, which concluded a 2-day policy meeting on Wednesday, declares that things are good, quote unquote, he would be inclined to buy commodities, crypto, and gold. Biggest thing I take away from that are commodities and gold. I like it. The Fed's reaction function has now changed, with policymakers focused solely on achieving full employment while saying investors should trust the forecast on inflation. He termed it intellectual incongruity. And I mean, he's saying that everything he's saying is just perfect. Policymakers focusing solely on full employment while saying investors should just trust the forecasts on inflation. And that's the point that I keep making. Stop just saying transitory inflation. Boom. Doesn't matter. It does matter. Say what transitory inflation is. The kid from Yahoo Finance is the only one who said it so far. Unbelievable. Jones indicated that significant upside remains for commodity markets. I do agree, with bullish positioning well below 2013 levels. While inflation was peaking around 3% ahead of the Fed's signal it would be tapering its asset purchasing program. Getting back to the same level as investment as commodities seen in 2013 would require another $400 billion of inflows. So here now I'm starting to get into the goofiness of the next two stories. I want to be 5% in gold, 5% in cash, 5% in commodities, and 5% in Bitcoin. All right, whatever you want to do. I do not know what I want to do with the other 80% because I want to see what the Fed is going to do. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Tudor is bullish on Bitcoin. So let's get to some of the Bitcoin stuff. This is actually pretty funny. So Bitcoin price dropped. Venture capitalist sticks to $250,000 prediction. Weak. Bitcoin dropped below $40,000 on Tuesday morning, even after a survey showed. Okay, pay attention to this. Look. Bitcoin dropped below $40,000 on Tuesday morning, even after a survey showed hedge funds' interest is on the up, and billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper said he's sticking with his prediction of cryptocurrency will reach 250,000 by the end of 22-23. Now, when we start talking about hedge funds are starting to get comfortable with this Bitcoin stuff. Hold on, before I go any further. Okay, let me get to it when I get to it. American Bitcoin was down 1% in trading at $39,717 a day after it got its boost from American hedge fund manager. So now we have two people that, Elon's not by himself anymore. That's too bad. So now it's a big hedge fund manager and Elon Musk that can swing the price of the trade. I wonder if Anonymous is going to go after Paul Tudor Jones. Meanwhile, the Financial Times reported on Tuesday that hedge funds plan to increase their exposure in cryptocurrencies by 2026. Biggest point is right here. Because notice they didn't say by 2022 or the end of 2021 or 2023, by 2026, because it's going to be, the government's going to come in and do some kind of regulation on it. So don't think that the way things are today means that it's going to stay this way and that's why hedge funds are getting in. Hedge funds are not stupid. There's a reason that they basically run a major part of the economy in the United States. So there's regulation coming. Trust me. The publisher said it was much okay. Blah, 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 blah. That's that. Meanwhile, oh, yes, I forgot to mention this. So meanwhile, I think this was over the weekend. Bitcoin got a boost when El Salvador said it was going to accept it as legal tender. Panama, Mexico, Brazil, so all these countries in South America and the Caribbean and this and that, they're going to start accepting money. So Klaus hedge fund secretly added massively into SYN, unknown small play biotech. I know SYN. Here's another one. I don't know who this guy is, but somebody sent it to me. MicroStrategy may sell $1 billion of stock to buy more Bitcoin. That's pretty sweet. MicroStrategy has been gearing up to buy more Bitcoin as much as $1 billion worth. Michael Saylor says, no, he didn't explicitly say he was going to do that. We intend to use the net proceeds from the sale to buy any Class A common stock offered by under the prospectus of the journal. General corporate purposes included is the acquisition of Bitcoin. Though MicroStrategy doesn't definitively say it will use the proceeds to buy Bitcoin, that has been their modus operandi since Michael Saylor has caught the Bitcoin bug last year. The firm owns $3.7 billion worth of Bitcoin, and it sold $500 million in corporate debt last week, so it could add to that total. Yeesh. Whatever you like, whatever you want to do. It's your money. You can do it. All right. That's it for the fun of the news today. As we already saw, treasuries are terrible. Let's see what the markets are doing. Probably nothing. Yeah, nothing. Guys, just be very patient. You're not going to see much movement today. You're not going to see much movement tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. You got to wait for that. Kurt, why do I keep talking about Bitcoin if I'm not interested in it? Well, Kurt, if you open up the front page of Yahoo Finance, Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, Barron's, the list goes on. The only thing on there is Bitcoin. And this is a news show, so I'm going to talk about the headline news. Boom. There you go, Kurt. Patreon.com/everythingmoney. If you would like to join our Patreon, oh my goodness. These things are flying like hotcakes. You guys must be loving this. Here's all of our software. If you want access to the software, $24 a month gets you all the software, gets you discounts to Crossroads Group, gets you discounts to EM Merch, which is going to be coming in just over 2,000 subscriptions, and we're giving away a Tesla at 50,000 subscribers. Bid and Ask Nation, $68 a month. You get access to me. It's all trading. We talk about options. It's a great chat. There's about 600 people in there, and it is broken down so well, and it is just great. And additionally, you get all the Everything Money software for free, plus discounts on merch. Yeah, it's awesome. So that is that. You guys give me a couple stocks and I will look. I just saw Laura said TAK. I will do TAK, and then somebody said Wish. Hello Mo, can you analyze Wish? For $8 a share, but now it became a meme stock and I'm worried. I'm a value investor, not a meme seeker. Should I sell if it pops? You should absolutely sell if it pops. All right, TAK. Not bad, Laura. Not bad. So coming up through the sweet spot, it's still early. You got to get this yellow line to trail. I want to be inside of there. I do not like how inconsistent this volume is. It's just really all over the place. But the hard part is you're sitting under two major moving averages, 100 and 200. So just be careful and go from there. All right. What was the next one I was going to do? Oh, Wish. I just read it. Wish. Did I watch Succession on HBO? Yeah. Succession season 1 was awesome. Succession season 2, it took me a very long time to get through it. I was not a fan. I thought it was very boring. What is this Wish? It's barely, what is this, 100 and, what's today, May 13th? 130 days old. Guys, that's what you get with this. That's what you get when you go and buy this IPO crap. You get in a situation where you're in trouble because they're nonsense. He asked if he gets a pop. If you get a pop up here, just sell it. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Let's see. Can you explain the right time to enter a day trade? Some people are having issues of trying to when to enter a day trade at the right time. Yeah, I can. It's in my shorting. It's in my seminar. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Dave, let me call you back. All right, bye. All right. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Where were we going with this? Oh, day trading. Where's my chart? Here we go. Okay, so this is pretty simple. If you want to enter a day trade, you enter it during a engulfing candlestick. So if you have something like this, not much going on, that's a bad example. This is a bad stock. What is this thing? Dave. Yeah, I wish that was Dave Portnoy calling me, but it was just Dave, my contractor. He's a great guy, though. All right, what's Corsair doing? Okay, that's a terrible example. Eli Lilly. Terrible example. Nike, Peloton. What do we got here? Aha, good example. Okay, so when you get something like this, you have a nice engulfing candlestick like so. Say you don't add to it. You're over 80%. You're having pretty good volume coming in. The next candlestick, nothing's really happening, okay? Then you get this one, this big boom candlestick. Stock price starts running up on you. It is bigger than this day. You're still over 80%. This is when you add on it. You add in the midst of a large engulfing candlestick. And if you want more, go look at the day trading seminar. If you're in the Patreon, if you're in the Bid and Ask Nation, go look at it. Also, I have decided this morning that this Saturday, what's the date? Give me 1 second. The date is the 19th. So the 19th at 9 a.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do a trading, I don't know. I guess I'll call it a trading seminar. It's going to probably be 90 minutes. And I'm going to go over from the very, very basics of trading. I'm going to build up to where basically I'm at. And then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So if you're not in the Bid and Ask Nation and you want to get in, join it now. You will get access to the trading seminar, which is going to be on Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be great. We've done it once before, but I want to do it again. And I want to give the new people a chance to ask those questions again, because I think when we did it, we had about 100 people or less that were in the Bid and Ask Nation. Now we have almost 600. So I want to give you additional 500 people the chance to ask me questions. And such. So, oh, Llewellyn's not going to be able to be there. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Remember, just be careful with everything that's happening in this market. It's going to be very slow today. It's going to be very slow today. It's going to be very slow tomorrow morning. So just be careful with that too. I would not suggest doing anything except for day trading. And even then, make sure you're playing with stops. That's about it. You guys have a great day. I will see you at 1 o'clock Eastern time today on the live show with Seth and Paul. And maybe Tim will make a cameo. Peace.